Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. My name is Cindy. Thank you so very much for being here and the continual support to this channel. It's all greatly appreciated. You're going to be seeing this on September 5th. So for those countries that celebrate it, Labor Day has come and gone, and it kind of always feels like the unofficial official start of the autumn season. So there's something about the energies of sort of coming back or getting back into routines and rhythms that I want to take a look at, frankly, in terms of the United States political environment over the next, month. I have both my cards and my wand. I think a lot of this is just going to be channeled because it's it's easier to get the message across that way, or clearer perhaps. So, but I'm going to start with the cards and see if they can give us a baseline. Again, thank you so much for all of your pendulum questions. They were fabulous. Again, during the early part of the week, so Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, if you can get your questions into the comment section below, that would be lovely. For the next Pendulum Friday. All right, here we go. Okay. All right. So what you're going to see is a lot of defensive posturing. Whether this is coming from certain defendants, whether this is coming from mega politicians who are going to do everything in their power to distract or side rail or the investigations that are currently going on. But it feels like this is a month where there is it's like just a need to stand up and hold your positions. Um, so it's an interesting kind of energy, given, that I'm looking at sort of a political kind of energy. But you're going to see, okay, thank you. So you're going to see things like, Republicans and the, countries out to weaponize everything against poor old us committee. You really dig in about wanting like Bonnie Willis's legal paperwork documents in the lead up to the court case. I mean, he's not going to get them. It's ridiculous. But you're going to see that kind of sort of like aggression going on. There is a lot still that is going to come out. I want to say between now and the new moon, which is I think the 14th, 15th, 16th, somewhere around there, right in the middle of the month. It almost feels as if there are 2 months contained within a month. So the first couple of weeks feel like sort of aggressive. They feel like there's just a lot of I'm not gonna, you can't make me kind of energy going around. But then it feels like the last 2 weeks, things sort of settle into a slightly different energy. It just feels a little bit. It feels as if some of the crazy has receded. It has to do with information that's going to come out. This could very well have to do with rulings that are made with regards to Sure about that. With regards to, Trump, defendants, legal cases, that kind of thing. Excuse me, sorry about that. I had a sneeze that just couldn't decide if it was going to come or go. All right. So there's stuff that's going to get exposed. And it's going to be about, I don't know, it just feels like, it feels like there's going to be something shifting right around that that new moon. And it feels like there's just going to be a shift in energy and attitude. The way I'm reading it, and honestly, I kind of hope I'm right, is that while the first couple of weeks feel sort of a little aggressive and the last couple of weeks feel as if they've sort of gentled out. Now, listen, they could have gentled out because people are just in a state of shock, okay? But it just looks like there's sort of almost like a new kind of beginning. You're going to see a lot of Trump acting out because, he's scared. Um, they have announced that the Georgia trials are going to be televised and live streamed. So I imagine there's going to be an even bigger push for people to get their cases transferred to the federal part of the court system there, so that their supporters, okay, don't end up actually seeing what was going on there. So an issue, but listen, Trump's upset, he's agitated, he's feeling threatened. And so you know what to expect, right? He's going to be blathering on through social. He's going to be releasing deranged videos. He's going to be making crazy statements. He's probably going to start threatening people. That's his playbook. Okay, that's what he knows. That's what he does. But there's definitely a lot of tension. It feels like there's also, thank you already. It feels like there's also a lot of tension around the Republicans and Trump. So this is sort of there. I'm hearing that there's more health issues or concerns with Mitch McConnell coming up, and that's going to shake up the Republicans, particularly in the Senate, because he has been their leader for God only knows how long, and it feels very much like almost as if there's some sort of a shift and. It just is. It's like the strength that McConnell brought to the Senate is not going to be replaceable. I'll say it that way. All right. There's also going to be just like a lot of news and a lot of on and on about the court cases and Trump and what Meadows is doing and not doing, and Cheeseborough, who's upset because he just wanted to be severed and all by himself and other people are joining. Like there's going to be a lot of that kind of energy. But as the month proceeds, there just seems to be sort of a feeling of, okay, this is where we're at. Let's start fixing this. Let's start getting this cleaned up. It's an interesting energy. There's definitely going to be some decisions and choices that need to be made. I don't know whether this pertains to, well, certainly to court rulings, right? Because there's going to be all these motions flying all over the place. But by the time you get to the end of the month, I guess I'm going to say it that way. By the time you get to the end of the month, it's going to feel like there's a sense of victory. There's a sense of a kind of a community starting to come back together, kind of energy, and so it feels as if things are just going to kind of fall into their groove after those first couple of weeks. I think the first couple of weeks are going to be the energy. I don't like it. Right? It's confused. People aren't getting the right information. People are overreacting. It's just kind of and people because of that are digging in their heels and getting aggressive. And I mean, I'm not talking about fights on the street. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about you know, certainly some of the Republicans who are going after Biden and Hunter Biden, and now they're trying to protect Trump, their behavior is going to become more and more in your face, more and more ridiculous. But for whatever reason, things just sort of just something shifts in the middle of the month. And as we go forward, it very definitely feels as if there's a new energy coming in, kind of a bit of a brighter energy. There's still going to be more things coming out. Oh my God, oh my God. So many secrets, so much corruption. A lot of that is just going to continue to be pushed to the surface. But, again, as you're going forward, you have the Three of Cups, you have the Four of Wands, you have the Six of Wands. You've got really nice energy as you move through the month. And it feels like that's just the energy of the month. So, let's see. I want to see if, I hope I have time to do this. I want to sort of zero in and see how three specific areas are going or unfolding. So I want to take a look at Biden. Um, he needs to stay strong and straight. Um, moving forward with that purposeful walk of his. Biden in September, Biden in September, Biden in September. All right, I like this. Um, it is as if the Biden administration has turned a corner, and they're kind of it's represented by the death card, and it's kind of like, all right, enough. The leather gloves, they're coming off. This what's going on is spiraling more and more out of control. I mean, they're talking about impeaching him. They're not going to be able to impeach him, for God's sakes. It's just ridiculous. Um, but you're going to shift. You're going to notice kind of a shift or a new kind of message coming through, a new way of doing things, in some areas. Like, I know they've set up apparently sort of a war room in case the Republicans continue to go ahead with this impeachment nonsense. But this is a good thing. Biden's message is going to start to get out, and there are areas of it that are going to um, excite people that are paying attention. Okay, so whether it is, new drugs that are being put so that they're at a discounted rate, whether it is economic messages, whether it is immigration messages, voting messages. I don't know, but it just feels like slowly but surely his words, his speech, the message he carries is going to pick up and start building momentum. And it's kind of neat because when they do the assessment of it, the response to it is an emotional one. Okay, so this is a good news kind of response, for what is going on in his world. It just feels like, things are going to like just shift for him. There's just a brighter and more powerful and more focused energy coming into play. Um, you know, we all know people, me not so much because I'm in Canada, but who are living in such an information bubble that They don't know anything besides what's in the bubble. They don't even question the logic or the probability of what they're hearing being accurate. It simply is. It is the truth. That is all there is to it. And you're going to see that there are, listen, within that group, a lot of them are not going to kind of see the light or wake up or walk away from conspiracy theories um, for a while yet. And I think that you can't make them go or see what they, where they don't want to go and what they don't want to see. But you're going to see more rational people really starting to focus in on it's going to be like a contrast between the two parties, right? Biden has this sort of, this is what we've done, this is what we've done, this is what we've done, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're doing right now, kind of energy around him. And when they look at the Republicans, what you have are people who really don't have platform. Some of them don't even have um, enough self-integrity or more moral fiber to be able to say, yeah, you know what, that's actually wrong. That was not a good thing that happened with Trump. And so more and more it feels like the difference between the two parties, for whatever reason, is going to become more and more apparent. And when that happens, then Joe's message is going to start penetrating in spots perhaps where it has been a little sparse. Okay. I want to look at Mr. McConnell. You know, the spirit and free will are a funny thing. I think, and this is just me talking from my spiritual knowledge and understanding, I think the fact that Mitch McConnell clearly kind of wants to die with his boots on. He wants to die still being an active senator. He's going to go down in history for being the longest server one, whatever, whatever. But I think because of that, and because that has become his desire, there is almost like an acceleration of an acceleration of the deterioration of his health. It's almost like to accommodate what it is that's sort of his highest intention or wish, which is that he goes while in office. And he's had numerous falls, and there's been concerns about him for a really long time, but this is becoming really prevalent. It's becoming really noticeable. Um, but it feels as if in some ways he has kind of accelerated his departure date. And for some of you, I know that that's probably a little bit of a wild theory or understanding, but we actually really do have it's kind of significant input when it comes to how we leave our physical bodies on this plane. We being the subconscious, and the soulprint, the soul has opinions and ideas, unlike kind of us and our conscious thoughts. But I want to look at Mitch and just see what I can see with him. They really are. One of the things that somebody mentioned it on television, that one of the things that they found most fascinating was that the staff around him wasn't surprised. They weren't reacting with real concern. And so it makes you wonder, if he's having these things in public, how many might he be having in private? Because they weren't reacting like this was a crisis. They were just reacting like, okay, well, we'll just give this a minute and he'll come on back. And I don't know, like if I was standing beside somebody and they just froze on me like that, I think I'd be reacting with a little bit more concern. And Let's take a look at old Moscow, Mitch, shall we? Um, Mitch in September, Mitch in September, Mitch in September. All right. He's being represented here by the Knight of Cups. So he's going to continue to have this kind of little um romanticized version. He is the hero of his own play. Um and he will continue to do whatever he needs to do um to stay in Washington, to stay in office, and that's just all there is to it. Okay, he's not going to back down. I think there's going to be a few more episodes, and it may be that things start to shake loose in terms of what actually is going on with him. The I guess the doctors say it's some sort of a after effect. It's like a neurological reaction within the brain that causes that. Listen, as far as he's concerned, he ain't going nowhere, okay? And that's what he wants. That is his highest wish. So this is the thing. There will come a point where, he's gonna go down and he's just not gonna get up. But he is not entertaining those thoughts consciously. He is aware of the deterioration, but it doesn't um it doesn't seem to be edging him towards the thought of retirement. In fact, if anything, it is causing him to dig his heels in. So I suspect that by the end of the month, he's still going to be alive and kicking, but I think that the deterioration is going to become, I don't know, like more noticeable, maybe more significant, um, like that. And because why not? I want to take a look at the former guy in September. Trump in September, Trump in September, Trump in September. Okay. For now, he it's like he lives more and more in this sort of alternate reality where everybody still refers to him as Mr. President. And um, you know, his illusions or delusions are sort of accommodated. So he continues to be in a space that while he is scared, and I think the whole mugshot deal really shook him up. But again, even before he went in there, you darn well know they had a publicity strategy. They had the marketing stuff ready to go. Okay. And you can bet your bonnet that he spent hours in front of a mirror perfecting the look that he wanted his mugshot to reflect. So in some ways, he is still very much feeling like he's got it. He's really buoyed by how well he's doing, in Republican polls, in terms of the support he has. And so whenever anything kind of negative rolls into his head, he just thinks about that. He just thinks about though, and that is in part why he's so convinced he can win, because he's not hearing about what it's across the country, what people think. They're just focusing on, again, people who they can reach on their landline who are Republicans. So for right now, he's still bopping along, hoping for the best. Things are going to, there's going to be a problem or something is going to come out or there's going to be deeper investigation or the resolution of a investigation pertaining to money and Trump. Now, I know that New York City trial is coming up with Kiss James. This is not what this is not what this feels like. This feels like something having to do with money that um, was donated and where it went and how it's being used. And it feels like there's going to be something that's found out that just made it like not good. But it also feels like even some of the slower people are going to go, wait a minute, wait a minute. I'm giving him this money so he can be reelected, but it's all going to his lawyer. So there's going to be kind of revelations and things like that go on about his money and his finances that are going to, create concern. Like, listen, this is what he's got here. He has the Knight of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles. This is a lot of concern about money, getting things right, strategizing stuff, holding on to what you have, being reckless or aggressive, assessing, trying to work hard, trying to get things in order to your best advantage. And listen, when it comes to Trump and his best advantage, it's about what works really good for Trump, okay? But after all those pentacles, that tower. So he is going to, and I think I said this before, this is not the beginning of the end, okay? This is the beginning of the beginning of the end, okay? It's not a sprint, this is a marathon. But Trump is going to start to really see some significant impacts about everything that is going on with him. I think in some ways, we keep seeing everybody keeps seeing health problems for him, and the more I move into that energy, and again, this is my little psychic opinion, it feels almost like some sort of like a stroke or a heart attack, and it feels very much like when at the point in time where the seriousness of this actually hits him square in the face, that's when you're going to see a rapid deterioration of his health. Beyond that, as far as Trump in the month of September, as I said, he's going to be a little bit more radical, a little more in your face, yelling and screaming, certainly for the first couple of weeks. And then I don't know what happens, man, but something happens mid-September and it shifts the energy. I wish I could get more on that. Maybe as the week unfolds, I'll revisit it and see what I can come up with. In any case, thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing you throughout the course of the week. And until next time, take care and be well. Bye bye.